Welcome to Chalkboards to Cash Flow, the podcast for educators and everyday professionals who want to build wealth through real estate without quitting their day job. I'm your host, Michelle, a full-time teacher who started investing in real estate to create more freedom, more security, and a better future for my family. If you've ever felt like your paycheck isn't enough or wondered if someone like you could really invest in property, this show is for you. Each week, we break down real stories, practical tips, and strategies to help you take that first step, even if you're starting small. Let's build something better together. Episode 9, Balancing the Classroom and Cash Flow, How One San Diego Teacher is Building Wealth Through Real Estate. Ever wonder if it's possible to invest in real estate while teaching full-time? Today's guest proves that it's not only possible, it's powerful. Colby is a full-time educator in San Diego who's building a real estate portfolio without giving up his day job or his love for teaching. If you're a teacher thinking, maybe I could do this too, this episode is for you. Welcome, Colby. We're so glad to have you.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Thanks. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? What do you teach and how long have you been in education?
Yep. This is year 16 for me. And I started out as a PE teacher. Did that for about 10 years. And then I recently switched over to special ed. And so my specialty is I'm a adaptive PE teacher. And I've been doing that this is year 6 for me.
Okay.
And
Wow.
so little transition and shift into special education, but I love it and it's going really well.
Very nice. And I did not know this before our talk today, but I'm also a special education teacher too. But I'm at the K-3. And what level are you?
I teach high school kids, and then I also teach, we call it transition students, so the 18 to 22-year-old range.
Oh, that's right.
They're a little bit more focused on job training and life skills and some of that stuff, but they still come and see me as well.
Very nice. All right. When did real estate first get on your radar?
Let's see. My wife and we purchased a house back in 2014, and we bought a 4-bedroom house, which was obviously going to be way too big for us and just the two of us. And so we started out house hacking and didn't know what that was at the time, but we just thought it would be more fun to have friends and family and people living with us at the time. So that's what we did. We rented out our rooms, and then we actually shifted into Airbnb because we were in Anaheim.
Okay.
And we were like about 5 minutes from Disneyland. And this was before Airbnb was a big thing. And so all of our friends thought we were crazy. We would host people in our house, mostly international people.
Oh,
because
wow.
they didn't think it was strange.
Yeah.
We did the same thing when we were traveling Europe. Actually, we would go into people's homes, and that was kind of how they did it. And so we thought it'd be a great idea. We started doing it, and that's when we got hooked.
That sounds fun. Okay. So you started in Anaheim. Are you in Anaheim now, or are you in San Diego?
Yeah, we're in San Diego.
Okay,
We made the move. We sold our house up in Anaheim, made the move to San Diego. We love living in San Diego. But after our first experience with Airbnb, we quickly decided we need to convert our garage into a unit and rent that out as well. So that's how we made the shift down in San Diego.
Okay, very cool. All right. So you're in San Diego now. How many units do you have now?
I'll say we started adding more and more short-term rentals.
Okay.
We got up to about 5 or 6. I also got into multifamily a little bit, purchased an apartment building.
Wow.
And then decided I wanted to, it was a lot of work. There was some that went well, some that didn't go well, some that just required a ton of our time. And so we kind of just had to evaluate which ones we wanted to hold on to. And that's when we decided we were going to just hold on to 2 because we did like the cash flow as I'm teaching. And as I continue to teach, that extra cash flow is nice. And especially living in a great place like San Diego. But then I was going to shift onto buying hotels. So currently we just have 2 short-term rentals. And now my focus is on the hotels.
Yes. Awesome. All right. What do you think gave you the courage to actually do it? Because a lot of people say, oh, that'd be great if I had some rental properties. What made you guys just start doing it?
I think being around other people who are doing it was really what kind of made us want to do it. Our first purchase was, besides being our primary residence, was a cabin up in the mountains. And so we thought, well, let's just buy a place where we think we're going to use it, but then also it's going to do well if we renovate it and fix it up and turn it into something really special. And so that's what we did. And then I think just being in rooms where other people are doing what you want to do gives you the courage to kind of be like, hey, I can do the same thing that they're doing, you know? So I've been involved in
Absolutely.
a number of different masterminds and around other people, podcasts, just learning from others.
That's awesome. What does your day to day look like balancing teaching and managing those rentals or those STRs that you have?
So my wife works from home and she's an author. And so she has a lot of flexibility with her job where she does most of the management.
Mhm.
It's a lot less now since we only have two, but when we were up to five or six, that was a lot on her plate. And so she was doing a lot of it, but we would split it, the workload, and I kind of have it my schedule set up to where I can focus on my real estate investing 2 days out of the week and really put into that. So, but yeah, we would share that workload
Very nice. That's great to have a
for sure.
partner to help you.
Yes.
Are there any tools or systems that you've used to help make it more doable or that your wife has used?
Yeah, I think we've definitely utilized the VAs. She has one that is basically works as her personal assistant, and I have used the VA that's probably a little bit more focused on bookkeeping and keeping track of numbers and whatnot, since that's not the area that I enjoy doing. So definitely utilizing the VAs.
Yeah, I might need to get a referral from you. That is not my forte either. All
It's
right.
hard to find good ones though. We've
It
gone through a
is.
few different ones too, so it's not easy, but I know referrals is the best way to find them.
It is. And for our listeners, a VA is a virtual assistant. So somebody that works in from a different location and can help you kind of virtually. They do a lot of work online for you. Sometimes they live close by, but most of the time they live a great distance. But they just help you out. All right, we did talk about where your investments are now. Do you get to vacation? You have one in the mountains, you said. Do you guys use it
We,
as
you know what, we sold it. That was one
okay?
of the ones
That's
that was our neighbors just were not happy with it, and
yeah.
so it kind of turned into a really stressful one for us where no matter what happened, we were getting a call from code enforcement.
Hmm.
And if we didn't answer code enforcement within 30 minutes, it would be $1,000 fine. So
Wow.
it was a little too outrageous. And we
Yeah.
actually sold it at a good time. And so we got out of that one.
That is that is one of the challenges in California of having short-term rentals is those regulations are really tight here. And I know some other states are easier. Our short-term rentals are out of state, which is a little bit easier, but California does have some regulations. And if your neighbors don't want that short-term rental there,
Right.
they make it hard.
Where are yours?
Tennessee,
Okay.
we went to the Smoky Mountains all the way across the country. The idea was we'd go visit, which we have one or two times, but not as
Yeah.
much as we'd like to.
No, we're also in North Carolina.
Oh,
And so
nice.
I totally get it. It's so beautiful out there. We love it,
Yeah.
but it's just a hard to get out there, you know?
It's an
And then
expensive
especially
flight too to get
three
all
little
the way
ones,
over
I'm like,
there.
I don't really want to do that trip with our kids that often. So I was just out there
Exactly.
a month ago though, but
I'm hoping
um,
for some more West Coast ones. We're looking up in Washington, Oregon.
that's
But
great. Are you guys still looking for the short-term rentals?
no, we have switched to the boutique hotels too,
Okay,
which is where I met Colby.
right.
All right. Let's say someone who's listening is a teacher who's feeling stuck. Maybe they don't have a lot of money saved. What do you think some ways are they could get started? I think you mentioned one at the beginning, one that you used.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that the easiest entry is the house hacking one, but I get it. Like it's not for everybody. Some people don't want to share room or house or, it's not for everybody. So, but it's either the house hacking, the short-term rental. I think those are the two easiest and best ways to
Wasted.
get into the game. But then I
Yeah.
would also say just for teachers, like we do have like summer vacations. We have so much vacation time
Mhm.
that makes, well, I mean, which it's amazing. A lot of us love the benefit of being a teacher because of that. And so I would just say using your summers not to just teach summer school because that doesn't really, it kind of just puts you in the same place, but it
Mhm.
helps with income. But putting into like some education with around real estate or developing a skill, something that could really help you in the investing world. And so right now I'm really focused on learning how to raise capital.
Mhm.
And it's, I think, one of the best skill sets to have in real estate. And so it's new for me, but that's one of the things that I really want to like focus in on and learn from others. I just joined a mastermind group. So I just think some of those kind of things where you have the time during the summer to put into some of these things to develop a skill it could go a long way for you, even if it's not
Absolutely.
purchasing your own property. So
That's how I did it in the summer. We signed up for a short-term rental mastermind, learned everything there was about running a short-term rental, and now we've joined the boutique hotel, a boutique hotel mastermind, which is it's fantastic to be around people who are doing what you're doing and they get it. Sometimes talking to friends and family, they're like, "Aren't you a little old to be investing?" Or "You guys are crazy. That's too risky." And we just went along with it. But it's nice to be around people who think it makes total sense and they're doing the thing you want to do.
yeah, at this raising capital conference I just went to, there was a kid who was 19,
Oh, wow.
and then there was another gentleman who was about 80.
Oh,
And I'm
wow.
like, I love that both of you are here
Yeah.
because that you don't see anyone else doing that. You're in your age groups. So just to
No,
show
you're
it
never
it,
too
it can be
young
whatever
or
age.
too old. Yep.
So that's great.
I love that. What is one thing you wish you knew before starting?
One thing that I've really learned a little bit more about that I wish I knew before starting would probably have to do with partnerships.
Mhm.
I always knew you could scale faster and it's better to go with other people than to go alone. But I think really spending the time on figuring out what it looks like to have a successful partnership is really important and probably not stressed enough.
Mhm.
And so I had a couple partnerships early on with some of the short-term rentals that we purchased. And it was probably I mean, it was more with friends of mine. And it just didn't go well because I was out there getting all this education on investing and had goals and was learning a ton, whereas my partners that were my friends were not. And we just didn't have the same mindset that we were
Yeah.
coming into these deals with. Whereas now I'm realizing, okay, I'm in these masterminds with people who are like-minded, have a lot of big goals, are going in the same direction that I am. And so having that and similar like risk capabilities of how much risk can you take and
Mhm.
how quickly can you move. Those were some of the biggest things that I learned,
Yeah.
and obviously you want to partner with people who have different skill sets than where you're at. And so I think that was one of the things that you don't know until you do it. And so I learned a lot, and now I know at
Yep.
least
That's
how to partner with other people, I think, a little bit better. And then I will say the other thing with that too is I found three partners from our mastermind group, and then
yeah.
even though we haven't purchased a hotel together, we did just meet with a business coach that is really helping us to kind of build that solid foundation from the beginning.
Mhm.
And I really appreciate he's asking us hard questions and
Wow.
really making us think through some of these important things. And so I think, I mean, it is kind of like a marriage. It's like you want to make sure
Yeah.
you're going to have a solid foundation, right, before making these big decisions. And so I think I heard something like 70% of partnerships like fail. And
Yeah.
so we're really focusing on finding a good partnership. I think it's great.
Exactly. And like I said, coaching, taking classes, when you think about it, a lot of like professional athletes get coaches. and they get training, and business people do. So why not for real estate too? Why aren't you learning as much as you can with all the podcasts out there now, with all the masterminds? It's a great time to learn.
Oh, I know. I'm like such a big fan of coaches. I think my wife gets annoyed at me that I feel like I'm always telling her, "Hey, there's this new thing and this other coach I want." And so like I have a
Yep.
real estate coach, I have a business coach, I have a fitness and nutrition coach, I have a mindset coach. I love the coaching stuff. So, and then I coach my kids soccer, so
Oh,
I'm a
wow,
big
you're
sports guy as
busy.
well. So I've done a lot of coaching and receive a lot of coaching as well. So
That's
big
awesome.
fan.
So, some final advice. What is your best advice for teachers who want to invest but are scared to take the leap?
I actually feel like this is one of the things that I feel like it's really important. Like I'm a little bit like scared for teachers in the future. Like what
Mhm.
if we don't figure out some other forms of income? You're just at the mercy of like whatever happens. And I do feel, at least for San Diego, I know from what I'm hearing, the projections are not looking good in terms of budget cuts and just so much uncertainty with being able to have your job, even if you're tenured,
Mhm.
because if the just with the population declining, enrollment declining, like at least in our area, it's not looking good. And
Yeah.
so just being able to have something else where you're just not only reliant on your W-2 and or your teaching job, because anything can happen. And
Mhm.
so I feel like I'm going into, I mean, I want to keep teaching for a year or two, or I don't really know how much longer, but I feel like I just want to be able to have that option, you know? And
Right.
so just making some kind of decisions where you're just prepared, especially if it's not just you have a family. And yeah, I just like the idea of having other sources of income, whether
Right.
that's a business or real estate or whatever it looks like. So that's my advice.
Absolutely. And then again, for retirement, I know teachers have some retirement. We do have a pension in STIRS, but I'm closer to retiring than you. But when you actually look at it, it's such a small fraction of what your actual pay is that you're really going to have to make some cutbacks if you go straight from teaching into retirement. It's crazy how little it is. So that's when I started looking and saying, "Oh my gosh, I better do something else," because it's really not what you think. It's not this big cushy retirement that you're going to be living your same lifestyle." So,
Yeah, for sure. I know. I like talking to the new teachers about like
yeah,
the cost of living is just getting more, it's
it
more
is.
expensive. Like what you guys got to have something, you know? So don't just rely on that teaching income.
No, start planning.
For
And a lot
sure.
of times you have to teach 30 years to get the full benefit, even, which is a long time. A
Yeah, and
long
then
time.
honestly, what I'm seeing a lot of the teachers are doing is like during their prep period, they'll take an extra prep period to teach, which is great because you get paid more.
Yeah,
But then I never take my prep period. I'm sorry. I never take the extra teaching time,
right.
and I use my that prep period to get some of my real estate investing stuff done. And
Yeah.
so not focusing just on like the education and the teaching part, but building that into my daily schedule.
Yeah, that's great. You've got to build it in your schedule somewhere.
For sure.
All right. Where can people connect with you if they want to learn more or follow along or DM you?
Yeah, so probably the best way is Instagram. I'm trying to get better and better with the social media, but Colby Ryan Long
Okay.
is my Instagram. So ColbyRyanLong.
All right. Thank you so much. And
Okay.
thank you for joining us and sharing. And to all of our listeners, if you need a sign, this is it. Plan for your future. You can build wealth while still being a teacher, one deal at a time, one step at a time. Head over to our Facebook group, Chalkboards to Cash Flow, to connect with other educators on the same journey. And don't forget to follow Chalkboards to Cash Flow on Instagram or Colby on Instagram. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Chalkboards to Cash Flow, where we turn real estate dreams into real life wins for teachers and everyday investors. If this episode helped you feel a little more confident or inspired, make sure to follow, leave a review, and share with a friend. And don't forget to join our free Facebook group, Chalkboards to Cash Flow, where we support each other every step of the way. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing. And remember, you don't need to be rich to start. You just need to start.